Welcome to the Grind to Greatness podcast, where we dive deep into the world of relentless determination, hard work, and unwavering dedication to help you unlock your full potential. We're your hosts, Jonathan and Joseph, and your mentors along this journey to greatness. Each week, we'll bring you inspiring stories, expert insights, and practical tips where we've turned our dreams into reality through sheer grit and resilience. Whether you're looking to excel in your career, improve your health and well-being, or simply level up in life, this podcast is your go-to source for strategies, motivation, and the mindset needed to achieve personal excellence.
What's up, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Grind to Greatness podcast. And today's episode is sponsored by Elite Mind Athlete. Is your athlete struggling to perform when it matters most? Do they get stuck in their own head during crucial moments? It's time to break free with the Elite Mind Athlete Mental Performance Training System. I'm your host, Jay McCardo, Mental Performance Coach, and I'm here to transform your mindset, preparation, and performance under pressure by implementing our 3-pillar system that targets 1, elite mindset, think and act like a champion. 2, elite preparation, embrace the unrequired success checklist and the unseen hours. And 3, elite performance under pressure. Elevate your game in high-pressure situations with our specialized mental performance training strategies. Plus, with Elite Accountability, our gamified process allows you to compete on leaderboards, earn rewards, and stay motivated with a one-on-one coaching call with your athlete to work on the performance and improve every single time. Don't wait. Visit EliteMindAthlete.com and sign up and start your journey to becoming unstoppable. Mr. Joseph. What up, my man? It's been a while.
I know, bro. I've been in the lab with a pen and a pad. I'm just kidding. I haven't.
I hate you, bro. That's stuck in my head all the time. I tell my wife I'm about to go in the lab, and she's like, "Which one?" I got 2 labs.
Yeah, upstairs and out here.
I had the office upstairs, and then I got the gym. And she's like, "You need to they need to be called different." I was like, "Okay." When I'm in the lab, I'm training in the garage. When I'm in the mental lab, I'm upstairs in my office using my mind. And so now that's the distinction. I'm going to the mental lab. But every single time I tell her that, I'm always saying, I'm in the lab with the pen and the pad. Like, I'm fucking, every single time, it's like a cue. I was like, God, Joseph.
Eminem, bro. Eminem. My man, lab with a pen and a pad, trying to get this down. Oh, no, it's Dr. Dre.
Oh, it's way to mess everything up.
Dr. Dre. Same group.
It's all good, man.
No, bro, I've been busy traveling. I went to San Antonio one weekend, Dallas the next weekend, Mexico the next weekend. I'm home for 2 weekends, go back to Mexico for a weekend, come back for a day, go back to Mexico again.
What? Doesn't even make sense.
Bro, if I could change my flights, I would have just stayed, but I couldn't change. I booked one trip a long time ago for my buddy and his bachelor party, and we're going to Cozumel. The little island right outside of Cancun. And then, so that was booked. And then the girlfriend wanted to go because she got jealous of me going to Tulum with my buddy last weekend.
Yeah.
And so I was like, cool, let's go to Cabo. So we booked Cabo. And just the way that it could work with her schedule mostly, we're going Friday to Monday. So I come back Monday at 3. And then I fly to Cozumel Wednesday at 5 a.m. So I'm home for Tuesday. I'm home Tuesday, and that's it.
Well, at this point, let me just sign the papers to adopt your dog.
Yeah.
Because your dog already wants to live here more than it wants to go back home with you.
I know. She has a good life here, bro. Because at my house, we don't do anything. It's quiet.
Yeah,
she sleeps
chill
all day. Here, you got 4 heathens running around.
Yeah,
you got another dog
that's trying to constantly rape her.
Yeah.
if I can even say that word.
Yeah, she's fucking hyped, and she gets to eat all. Did you see her bad ear infection?
No.
She's allergic to everything. So when she eats his food or the kids' food,
Yeah.
she gets massive ear infection.
Oh, I didn't know that
Yeah.
because she's a fucking savage.
Yes.
Anytime I try to feed my dog, she bullies the fuck out of him, eats his shit, and I'm like, Allie, get your...
Yeah, bro, she gets she's allergic to everything.
Okay.
Literally everything, except her own food. And anytime she eats anything else, she gets an ear infection.
Oh, you should have told me that because now I need to separate them too when it comes to like feeding time.
I mean, with your family dynamic, it'll be impossible because your kids are gonna feed her. They're gonna drop food. Like, it's impossible. She's gonna get it. So yeah, for like 3 days, I was nursing her ear infection. When I got her home, I threw her in the shower and I just sprayed her ear.
Yeah.
And then I have this ear wash that like you just squirt it in their ear. It's kind of like an alcohol almost suspension, and it loosens and breaks everything up. So then when they shake, it all come out. So then I have like earwax and gunk all in my shower because she shook. And then I have eardrops because every time I go to the vet, I need a refill of eardrops.
Poor girl. I'm gonna be more mindful next time.
Yeah, it stinks. I don't know how you didn't smell it.
No. I've got adapted to her smell.
Yeah, when I was in the truck, I was like, "Fuck, you smell," and I was like,
Oh yeah.
I bet you have an ear infection. Got home, I was like, yeah. It smells bad, bro. It's like a yeast. It's like yeast or something. It's gross. But yeah, so then I get home Sunday, like April 6th, I think is the date. And then I'm good. And I'm not traveling anymore until like July.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been wild. I'm broke. I'm about to eat ramen and tuna forever.
Well, I get to see my son buy a car before I did.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My son been hustling that Smoothie King life, slinging protein shakes, and he bought his first car. It's in the shop right now because they're fixing it.
Yeah.
But it was super important on this journey of trying to find the first car, how to like maneuver that as a father, because he had a decent amount of money for a first car. He bought this car for $7,000. And I wanted to be sure he didn't pay less than $5,000, because anything less than $5,000 was like a real high risk junker and all this like. And so I kind of wanted to guide him with parameters. I was like, listen, your first car, let's set the expectations. There's gonna be some shit wrong with it.
Yeah.
All right, 1 and 2, it's not gonna look as good as you probably think your first car is gonna look like, but that's fine, because you know why? Most likely you're gonna fuck shit up. Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna be real with you. You're gonna hit all the curbs. You're probably gonna run into a trash can here and there. Yeah. And I need you to understand not to be scared, because that's just the expectation. So I'm trying to lower the pressure of actually driving, because most kids, like, they have all this pressure because mommy and daddy bought them this nice car, and that just increases pressure. And so when they fuck shit up, they want to hide it and they want to do all the whatever. Yeah. And then it only makes matters fucking worse. Yeah. And so I wanted to like just reset the expectation of what your first car looks like. Hey, it's not gonna be the perfect car, and it's not supposed to, son. I was like, what you're buying is what you've earned. Yeah. All right, and you got $7,000. Like, let's be real.
Which sucks though, because well, how old is he?
He's 17.
At 17, you have $7,000, bro. You're on top of the world.
Oh no! Like, listen, I think growing up with being not having good money hygiene. Yeah. If I could do it all back and over again, it was just reset the bar of what that looks like. And so when he got his job, I was like, listen, 70% of your money is going to go to an investment account. Yeah. And so you live off 30%. And if you don't like 30%, then guess what? Go find another job and make more money. Like, that just needs to be the standard. I was like, son, that just needs to be the standard, son. Yeah. And he's like, well, he accepted it because he doesn't know any better. And that's the best time to get them, right? You didn't catch him with bad habits now of like, oh, this money's mine. Let me just go fucking spend it. No, this guy literally every single paycheck put 70% of it away in his savings account. And then he lived off like $100 for 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, he was paying for Uber to go to school. Go to work right after school. So he's like having to pay from that 30% Ubers. He's paying for, because he's a little bodybuilder, he's paying for his own little food. And so, like I said, he's being super resourceful because he's getting lean right now. I don't know if you see my son right now. He's like 4 weeks out, that type deal. Oh, yeah, and he's on the grind, like to the point where he won't touch anything that's off, that could veer him off. Like, he's in his locked in mode at this point. Yeah. For like 4 months, he was stagnant. Yeah. Of like, he was just tiptoeing this line of maybe 12, 30%. There's some little abs, but like, I was like, son, you think you're 90% there, but let me just kind of phrase this for you. The next 10% is like, the next 10%, it's more like 50% there because of what the next level is going to require you to do, son. It's going to require you to wake up a little bit earlier. It's going to require that extra hour of cardio. It's going to require like, you can't be fucking touching crumble when we get it, right? It's going to like this. It's going to take that next jump, and it took about 3 months for him to get over that. But once he got over it, and he started leaning out, and you start to see the serratuses right here on the side, and I start to see the gills, and at that point, when you start seeing that much, you're like, I ain't fucking this up. Like I've gone too far. He's locked in right now, but yeah, setting the standards and having that mindset, catch it before those bad habits in, he doesn't know any different. So that was a good thing.
I have a friend and his wife, and they kind of do the same thing. The wife is a PA, and the husband is like a GS 13 for the government. And they both make over 6 figures. And they did the same thing. He was telling me like they put like 50% of both of their checks like in an investment account.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang. And they've bought 2 houses so far, blah, blah, blah. And it was always the goal of like, if we need more money, we don't pull from the 50 we're investing. We go make more money.
Yeah.
We go get promoted. The wife got like a better job, higher pay. She started doing home health because home health is higher pay. The husband got promoted from GS 12 to GS 13. And he's like, yeah. So like when we get promoted, like, you know, our income goes up, we go buy another house.
Well, that creates a level of desperation, and that's what you need to keep you hungry. There has to be some type of level of desperation. And so how do you do that? You play mind game. Yeah, you're making a lot of money, but how do you become desperate to make more? Well, you live off little, and that's like, oh, I need to make more.
Yeah,
make more.
And it's good to think about like as a kid, if you're used to no money, and then you go start making, let's say, 500 every 2 weeks, and dad says you can only fucking use 100, you're still $100 richer than you were before the job.
Yeah.
Right? And so you're like, oh shit, I used to have no money, now I have 100. Cool, like that's badass. And then you go get a raise or promoted or whatever, now you got 200.
Yeah.
Right? And so it really sets a good expectation, because like in the beginning, I had no money knowledge. I was just like, I had money from when my mom died. I got a Social Security check from the state or the government, and it was like, I want to say it was like $750 a month, right? And so when I started to get it, because my dad and my stepmom left, and so the check started to come to me, because normally it would go to like your guardian, like your parents, and then when they left, because they were no longer like seeing over me, I got the check. And so it started coming to me. And I was like zero to hero, bro.
Zero to hero.
I was like fucking $750. I spent it all.
$750 what, a month?
A month.
What?
Yeah. And I was just like, dang. And I had no money knowledge. And then the military did a good job, because you didn't need to pay for anything in the military. So all the money that I got when I was in boot camp, when I was
it just accumulated.
It just accumulated, because I like the military feeds you, the military clothes you. Like I'm not going out on the weekends.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing any of this stuff. So I just like started packing up money. So I think at the end of so boot camp is 2 months, medical school was 3 months. So after like 5 months, I think I had like $7,000 in my bank account.
Yeah.
I didn't spend anything. And of course, like all my buddies are like on the weekends, they're like going to get cigarettes, and they're going to get tattoos, and I'm like, I don't do any of that.
Yeah.
And then I went to Afghanistan. That was even better, bro. I came back with like 30 G's in the bank.
Oh, yeah,
I was rich. Bro. But what I go do, I went to go buy a car. So I just like dumped it all on a car.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until when I got back from Afghanistan where like I started putting money in a Roth IRA. I started putting money in like a CD, like a 5-year CD. I made $1,000. I put in 1,000. I made 1,000.
Yeah.
It was like a 50% return, which was pretty cool for 5 years. I was like, okay. And then I got bad. Then I was like, I put 10% away, because that's like custom. You know, everyone's like, put 10% away.
Yeah.
And so I just started putting 10% living off of 90, and then that created the problem.
That created the problem.
Yeah, and I was like, well, shit. And then of course, like as the business grows, like, man, I just got hit with a $3,500 bill for our CRM database, and then I got hit with a $2,000 bill for the insurance for the company. And then I got hit with another $2,000 for something else. Then I just booked 2 trips to Mexico.
Yeah.
And I was like, in the last 3 weeks, $10,000 gone, just gone. And that made me think. I was like, you know what? I need to go back to the lab with a pen and a pad and start to figure out finances. And because, again, it can slip away quick.
Yeah.
When you have just money going out here and there, expenses going out here and there, you sign up for like an annual thing and you kind of forget about it. Like my insurance is annual, my truck insurance, I'm going to get hit with that in June. And you kind of forget about it. And then all of a sudden, boom, 1,200, boom, $3,000, boom.
When it rains, it pours, baby.
And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, shit. But what's cool is it immediately, when I saw my bank account just go ding, 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 it immediately just put me, we talked about it last episode, I was listening to it on the way here. I started to get right back to the grind.
Yeah.
I started messaging
some hunger.
clients.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, remember you were going to sign up, blah, blah. So I got 2 new clients, boom, boom. I was like, yeah, that's what I need right there.
Yeah.
The fuel when your back's against the wall, broke as fuck.
Creating a level of desperation, right?
Perfect.
I forgot, I didn't even tell you what kind of car my son bought.
Yeah.
I gave him the parameter. Once again, setting nice parameters. You want something reliable. Honda, Toyota, and I'll go for an Acura, even though it's the luxury of Honda, but it's basically just a Honda, just with the outside and inside a little bit better. I was like, but I want you to veer away from the most common mistakes. I was like, okay, what are the most common mistakes? So you start asking them, you want their feedback, right? And he's like, well, everybody wants to look rich. I was like, yeah. And so what are they going to do? They don't have a whole lot of money, so they're going to buy an old luxury car, right? They're going to buy the BMW, the Mercedes, and because the body styles look nice. Like they still keep of like, yeah, man, this shit looks nice, but interior's fucked up. Car breaks down, and then you're fucked because you can't fix those because you're broke, because you have no money to fix a foreign car, because that price point is crazy. Like I said, if you go on TikTok right now, there's all these kids your age who drive all the BMWs, and they're driving, and the check engine light will come on, and it's the death of their car, and everybody knows it. And they're like, no. And then the next reel, no. Yeah, because they spent all this fucking money on a high mileage car that they cannot fix. And now they're out of that money. I was like, so what are the common traps? Avoid it. Perfect. And so we started looking at Hondas and Acuras, because I can work on them. 8 years, Honda mechanic. Yeah. So we need to be a little bit resourceful and smart. He ended up getting a fucking nice car. He got an Acura TSX 2010.
Nice.
And I was a little worried. Like I had some hesitation because it looked nice. And I was like, no, it's a little too nice for the first car. I was like, I don't know, man. Your taste buds can get like you're gonna touch it, right? It's like But then I was like, all right, as long as it's his money. I can't veer him off too much. I can't have all my hands on him. And so I was like, do whatever you want. Here's a couple options. He's like, I really like this one. I was like, cool, let's go get it. It's $7,000, and the dealership is certified used car, so they're gonna fix it, all the problems with it, and it's still in the shop. And so we haven't got the keys yet, but it's a nice, bro. I wish that was my first car. Yeah. But hey, expectations, son. Even though it's nice, he's gonna be able to value it more though, because it's his.
For sure. I think when you pay, like when I bought my first car, man, I valued the shit out of it. When I came back from Afghanistan, I fucking dumped $23,000 into a new Hyundai Genesis. Yeah. Bro, that was my girl. And it just, because my first car, my grandpa paid for it. And it was an SUV, but it was a salvage title. Shit didn't work on it. Like the buttons on the steering wheel didn't work, right? Because the airbags had deployed and they just like didn't fix it, I guess. And I wouldn't say that I didn't devalue it. I just didn't value it the way that I valued the one that I
when
bought.
You earned it. It's different. Yeah. I thought I was gonna struggle with this whole series of my son buying a car because all his friends, all the families do well for themselves, and all their parents are buying them the BMWs, the Mercedes, and he's like, that shit's wild. Yeah. And I'm like, so I'm glad you really understand that, because they didn't earn that, son. And so like they're missing out on the piece of earned. When it's given to you, it creates a sense of entitlement. Yeah, that entitlement. Right. And the fact that you paid for this is what creates the value. All the hours of you waking up at 5 a.m., working out, going to school, going Ubering, paying money to Uber your way to Smoothie King, work 4 hours, come home at 10:30, and then do it all over again for over a year and a half. That created the sense of value. And I was like, they're not gonna be able to have that piece
Yeah. And then it's cool to think about, like, if you're Ubering, let's say 3 times a week from school and it's $15-20 a Uber ride, like you get to save that money too. So when you're looking at the grand scheme of things, you got 150 a week to spend. Like, well, he just gained back 70 of it from not having to Uber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's cool to do like checks and balances that way as well. Being like, hey, I nixed this expense, and then like this was a $70 expense. Gas is probably going to be $50 every 2 weeks. Let's just say 30 here, 25 here. And so again, like that expense gets cut in half. So now he gets a little bit extra money.
Well, here's the next topic: the comfort trap.
Yeah.
Now you're 0. You don't make very much money. What's your next goal? He's like, I want at least $10K to invest in a property, like a down payment. I said, okay. Well, I don't know. How long is that going to take you at Smoothie King?
Yeah.
I was like, what's more important? I was like, what's more important? You being comfortable at Smoothie King and waiting until you make 10K, or you go find another skill to go master, and then you make more money. Because I was like, son, in your 20s, it's all about skills.
How much does he make at Smoothie King?
Like $10
an hour?
Yeah, and he got 2 raises, and he got 25 cents each.
Bro,
so he's like barely at 10.
Dog.
And so, well, then he's like, he here. So this is the problem. Here, other people go other places that get paid more. They get lower hours.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, it's the fucking same. He's like, they should have just stayed. And I was all like, okay, but don't go for hours. Don't go for money. What's the next skills on your journey of real estate? What are the skills? I was like, you got to be a hustler if you want to do real estate. Like, you have to have a sense of talking and creating deals and like becoming super resourceful. I was like, here's some recommendations. I would go into waiting.
Yeah.
If you can handle high pressure, if you can learn how to serve people, you eventually want to be an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
You have to serve people. And he had just finished reading the book like 6 months ago, Unreasonable Hospitality. I was like, that's entrepreneurship, son. You're like, you have to serve. I was like, so I think this might be, but here's the deal. I'm not going to tell you to do interviews. I'm just going to sit this here, and then you get to stay in this comfort for however long you want to, but understand this is what holds most people back is right here. Yeah. You know that you got comfort here. You know how much money you're going to make. You know how long it's going to take you to hit 10K. You know what to do. Or you go jump into the unknown. And how fast can you make that jump is how fast you know you're going to be successful, because most people won't make that jump, or they'll linger for years until the pain point's fucking heavy.
And he's got to grind, right? So he's got to make the jump, number 1, as quickly as possible. But then 2, he has to learn how to like be a great hospitality person to where the tips match his steady Smoothie King income.
Well, then you have to set the expectation. When you jump ship, you're going to fucking suck.
Yeah.
So like having to like lower that bar, because a lot of people are like, what if I'm not successful? You're not going to be.
We went out to dinner. We went out to dinner last night, and the guy was like, "Man, he moved to California during COVID, like 2021." And he was like, I was in IT, and he's like, "Bro, I was bored." So he's like, "That's how I started." We went to Red Robin. So he's like, "That's how I started working at Red Robin." Because he's like, I was bored, and so like on the weekends, I'd come in and wait tables and be a bartender and so on and so forth, because I was just so bored.
Yeah.
Because IT's fucking boring. And he's like, I need to be around people.
Yeah.
And this dude was a great waiter, man. Like cracking jokes, always like making sure he's like, I gave you a heavy pour. My girlfriend got like a tequila soda, and he's like, there's more tequila than there is soda. Let me know if I need to bring some more soda.
Yeah.
Just like a cool dude, live, upbeat. And I hear him talking to every table the same way. Live, upbeat, getting to know the group, getting to know, why are y'all here? Where are y'all from? I'm from here, blah, blah. And it makes a hell of a difference compared to someone who just comes, takes your order, and drops off food.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know why, and we were talking about it, I was like, I've never been a waiter or a waitress, and I don't know where I got my people's skills from.
I don't think you got them yet.
Yeah.
I don't think they're yet. Where do you?
Get out of here, bro. Give me 10 minutes of your time, I'll fucking change your life. But then I was like, man, you know what? It made me want to go be a waiter.
Yeah.
I was like, dang. I was like, because you meet so many cool people, and you see recurring customers, right? And so you start to build like a relationship with these
stories,
connections.
connections.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I've done it everywhere. When I was an intern for UTSA at a physical therapy clinic, the patients would come in and ask for me to be their PTA, their physical therapy assistant, and I wasn't. I was just an intern. And the front desk would have to tell them, like, you know, like, Joseph doesn't work here. Like, he's just an intern. And they're like, yeah, we know. But, like, he can do my treatment.
Yeah.
And then it was just wild. And so, again, I don't know where that, like, mentality of mine came from to just be a people person, because I've never been a server of any sorts. But I think I've just been a people pleaser overall. Like, I think I just want everyone to like me for whatever reason. But yeah, it'll be a huge jump. So however quick he can make the jump, and then however quick he can make back the money. Because again, going from hourly to tips.
Well, the focus, the speed at which you can make the jump, right? Because that's going to be a level of separation, because people can't make that jump fast because they feel like they're waiting on the perfect moment, they're waiting on the right time. Whatever excuse. There's going to be the laundry excuse, but the reality is you're just fucking scared.
Yeah.
Okay. 2, not how quick you can make the money, how quick can you build a better skill? That's the game. Because if you want to make more money, then you got to get your skill faster. How do you get your skill faster? You got to go back in the lab, son. You got to go back and study waiter. You got to go watch some YouTube tutorials about who's the fucking best way, find the winner. So then you start applying all the high performance strategies so that way you can expedite your skill acquisition with learning and application. And people don't, like, man, that's what I love about high performance. It's like you're just missing out. It's just on information and strategies to get better really faster. But yeah, man, I think overall as a parent, that's just what the season I'm going through, is making sure I can guide him, but also ultimately let him make his own decision and let him make the wrong decision.
Yeah. And I guess I've made every decision for me since I was about 16, but I don't think I've ever made a wrong decision. I worked at CC's Pizza. That was my first job, but I was bussing tables and fucking making sure the pizza was in order on the line, right? And then I worked for a t-shirt company, and what else did I do? I think that's about it. And I went to the military.
That was a good frame you just said.
What?
I don't think I made the wrong decision. So now that you said it, let me rephrase about what I said, making the wrong decision, because I was listening to a podcast a couple of years ago, and it stuck with me. And he's like, the wrong decision is the right decision if you put 100% effort into it.
Yeah.
And he's like, and so it was from a real estate guru, 95 millionaire. And he's like, I want you to think about this. He's like, I used to be a running back.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would go into the wrong pocket. And he's like, there'd be 2 different type of athletes that go into the wrong pocket. There's gonna be one knowing he went into the wrong pocket and saying, oh fuck, I went into the wrong pocket. Or there's the other athlete says, fuck it, I'm gonna make this pocket work. And he's like, I every single time made the pocket work, even though I went into the wrong pocket. So he's like, so was it the wrong decision or was it the right decision? I don't know, I scored a touchdown.
Don't care. Yep, well, I won. And I think it's a part of being like, I never understand why people go to work and they don't do anything. Like, you have like lazy employees. I'm like, you have to be here regardless. You might as well get good at something while you're fucking here. Learn something, do something the best of your abilities. And so it's funny because I was talking to my girlfriend about like the progression of me at this t-shirt company. I was in high school and of course, like, the owner doesn't really trust me. So I've got to show up when he shows up. And my first set of job skills was like putting stickers on like cheerleading cones and yard signs. Like this. But what was easy was the stickers were already formatted. So all I had to do was lay this paper on it and then peel it off, and the stickers stayed. So I didn't even have to I didn't have to do anything. I just had to lay it on it, peel it off, and it was done. So like alignment was fine, spacing was fine because it was already done by this computer, right? And I was there for 2 months. And in 2 months, because I was there from like April until June, and I left to the military. In 2 months, I had a key to the shop. I would go there when no one's there. And I was doing everything. I was doing signs, cones, t-shirts, jerseys, turning on all this equipment. Like, I've been there for 2 months.
Yeah.
And then it was one of my teacher's brothers. And he was just like, yeah, can you go in, this Friday? Like, no one's gonna be there. We have a 50 jersey order. Can you go knock out those jerseys? Like, yep, cool. And so I went from like no trust, I can only be there when he's there, only can do these signs because if I fuck it up, it's not a huge, we can just make like one more sign,
Yeah.
right? To like running the whole fucking shop.
That's just called a bad boss, letting the kid run everything. That's what that is.
No, bro.
Yeah. I think he had a misjudgment. I think he didn't care about his job.
He owned it, so it was his shop.
Yeah. I'm just messing with you, man.
He was fucking good at his job. All right, what's our topic today?
No, all that was the topic. But I do want to go into another discussion.
Yeah.
Of, I had an athlete that I've been training for the past, since he was like maybe 9 or 10. I've been sometimes in all sorts of fashions, from speed training, strength training, to nutrition training, gaining 30 pounds, to mental performance training as we evolved and learning about the mental game. And his journey, he's like 5'6", 5'5", small, Asian, and the chance of him going and play ball is like super rare, but it's okay because he's a smart dude. Like, he stays on top of his grades. He's very accountable, reliable, consistent. No matter where this kid goes, if he has those skills and he has grit to keep pushing, he's going to be successful anywhere he goes. Like, he already has these skills, these baselines. But in his journey, he's been like any other athlete, highs and lows. Well, last year he got cut from the team. This is like junior year, getting cut from the team.
That was when you and I met. I walked in, you were having that conversation.
And I just told him, good.
Yeah, good.
Good. All right. Work harder. I mean, that's all you can do. You control what you control. Yeah. Anyways, and then he made the team again, so it's a big high. Then he ends up getting signed for ABU, Arlington Baptist University. So this is big high, right? The biggest moment, shoved in everyone's face. The moment, when nobody thought you could do it, he does it, right? The biggest high. And I immediately told him, when he told me that, I was like, it doesn't matter. You need to work as if it could be stripped from you tomorrow. And I almost felt bad because he was so happy, right? But I also want him to understand, when he woke up tomorrow, you still have to wake up and get the fuck after it. Yeah. Like, you still have to wake up, because I was so fearful that he was going to do the thing that I know most people were going to do.
Relax.
They relax. And you know what he did? He relaxed. And you know what happens? The next 4 games, he doesn't start. He doesn't touch the field. And he goes down the spiral. Mm-hmm. And when you go down the spiral and you let your emotions dictate your actions, guess what? You start doing all my extra work in my program that builds the confidence. Yeah. And so he came for a training session, and he asked me a crazy question that I feel like a sophisticated intellectual mind would only ask, that's a little bit older. Mm-hmm. And he asked me, he's like, hey, coach, I've been battling this thing, man. I want your take. And I was like, what is it, bro? He's like, do you work to prove people wrong, or do you work to prove yourself right? And I was like, I looked down, I was like, what? I was stunned and I was shocked, but he was so serious. And it was just me and him working. We actually worked out together that day because I wanted to be able to have that intimate relationship with him where we fucking just went the fuck after, because I knew he was in pain. I knew what he was going through. He just didn't want to tell me quite yet. And he did. So I was like, well, before I answer, what's your answer? And he's like, well, I think I need to prove myself right. And I was like, okay. And before I give my take, because I want to, just like him, I want to give you an opportunity to answer, because I already know what the fuck I want to say. Yeah. But I'm curious what Joseph would say. If he asked you that question, Joseph, what would you tell him?
For me, it would be to prove myself right, because I feel like once you prove someone else wrong, that's the finish line. And in this game, there is no finish line. And so I think if you prove yourself right, you'll only get more confident and set more goals for yourself. So let's say if I had an idea to go to college and I was like, okay, cool. And then it's a kind of an impossible task for whatever reason, my height, my age, my financial situation, no one in my family's ever gone to college, whatever the case may be. And then you go and you're like, oh shit, I did that. What else can I go do? Right? But if it was just someone pointing a finger at me and saying, you'll never go to college, you'll never go to college, you'll never go to college. And then I go and I'm like, haha, like I went to college because you told me I couldn't.
Yeah.
And then you're done. And then you're like, you don't really have.
You're chasing the next thing.
Like you don't, like your only driver is someone else telling you you're not good enough, instead of telling yourself you are good enough. And you can go do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it, however you want to do it. And all you need is yourself. And I also haven't had, like in my journey, I don't think I've ever had anyone tell me like, you can't do something. Everything I've ever accomplished was for me. So I also don't have any personal experience with someone telling me, you can't. And I'm going to be like, watch me. You know? So it's always been me. Like, I want to do this. Oh shit, I did it. What else can I go do? Oh shit, I did that too. Oh, what else can I go do? Oh shit, I did that too. Right? So I don't have that experience.
Okay. Well, the way I answered him, that was a good take, because I feel like if you leverage prove them wrong, it's temporary, and then you're searching for the next thing, or you're searching for the next person to prove wrong, and then you may not find that person, and then you find yourself stuck, right? Yeah. See that. And so my answer to him, I was like, well, my answer is a little bit more complex, because the correct answer is, in my head, and how I view it, is you use both. Yep. You use both. And let me explain how you use both, okay? The political correct answer, when people ask you, it's you prove yourself right. Politically correct. They're gonna be like, oh, you're so amazing. You're so humble. Look at that, he's a great kid. I was like, that's the political correct answer, okay? A lot of people are just gonna say that in interviews. They have a brand to protect, whatever the case may be. Political correct. Does it work? Absolutely, okay? Does it work long term? Yes. I was like, but what are you feeling right now? He's like, I'm pissed off. I have anger. I was like, yeah, you're fucking mad, aren't you? I was like, well, number one rule of entrepreneurship, always go to it. Use what the fuck you got. I was like, you have anger? Who you mad at? X, Y, and Z. I was like, shove it in their fucking face. I was like, you use what you got, brother. If you got anger, you fucking use it. And then when you don't have anger, then you use to prove yourself right. You use both. And that is what keeps you fucking going. Anger and negative emotion, that is fucking rocket fuel, motherfucker. I was like, you want to get ahead? Most people are trying to prove themselves right. Cool. You can prove yourself right and prove motherfuckers wrong. Who's going to go further? And who's going to get there quicker? I was like, you use what you got, man. And it's okay that you want to shove it in somebody's fucking face. Keep that shit to yourself. If you want to be liked, if you don't give a fuck, then you don't give a fuck. But I promise you, I've listened to and I've studied the most highly successful people in the entire fucking world. And if you put them in a one-on-one conversation with just you and them, they're going to fucking tell you all the fucking people that they shoved it down their fucking throats. But you might hear them on a podcast talk about humility, humble, and all that great stuff. It's just brand. It's brand protection. But give them a few drinks. All right? Let them become comfortable. Let them loosen up. And I'm going to tell you, they fucking use both. But it's just not normally accepted. Okay? I was like, so you have a choice. You can keep it behind closed doors. All right? That's cool too. And you can use both. Or you just be fucking open about it. But accept the consequence that you aren't going to be liked by everyone. And that's okay too. Option is yours, bro. I can't tell you which one to choose. But what I can guide you is right now you're in pain. Shove it down their fucking throats and just do so much fucking work and become so undeniably fucking great that they have no fucking choice.
And then I think how you deal with that, right, is also important. So once you shove it down their throat, what next, right? Because once you do, if you pull back, then you're going to fall back to your old routines, your old ways. You're not starting anymore. You're not playing anymore, whatever the case may be. And then they're right again. Right? And so I think Alex Ramosi said, your haters are right 100% of the time until that one time that they're not. You know? But you have, I think the scary thing is with haters and with people like proving them wrong is, and maybe this is why it's not the politically correct answer, like you said, is because once you prove someone wrong, that is your new standard of operation. And you have to always uphold yourself to that new standard of operation forever.
Yeah.
Because the moment that you fall back, it's like they're right again.
Yeah.
And I think that scares a lot of people. And that's why, like, I think it's probably the politically correct answer is to, prove yourself right. Because then it's like, it's a little bit easier. You don't have to live up to such a standard.
Yeah.
You can take breaks. You can find this work-life balance, all this shit. And that, again, is easier for the mind to accept.
Well, you say right. You are 20% right. After you put them wrong, and what, right? You get comfortable again. And so the strategy I gave him as we were walking off to the car, I was like, but whenever you get there, you have to recreate a mental game of creating a sense of desperation again.
Yeah.
You have to keep the underdog mentality. And so even though you get there and you win, you have to reframe your perspective, and you got to create an enemy. It could be false, but you have to look and go find the winners, because there's somebody fucking doing better than you. And if you create the underdog mentality, it's just a mental game. It's a mind game. It's what Kobe Bryant, it's what Michael Jordan used. It's what David Goggins used. There's somebody fucking out there right now outworking me, right? And it may be a fake fucking person, or it may be actually real. It doesn't matter. Yeah. What you believe is real. But once you get there, develop the underdog mentality, and then let that desperation of pain drive you forward again. All right, and then you go out there, you can prove yourself right. No, I'm here. Here's everything that I knew to get here. Because I guess they call it the gap in the gain. It's a strategy. It means when you get somewhere, if you feel like shit, you look at the gain. Oh, look how far I've come. Make you feel better, quick. If you get there and you feel like you're winning, don't stay there long. Look at the gap. Look how much more I need to do. That creates a level of desperation to go take massive action again and keep pressing forward. The gap in the gain.
I think athletes understand it really well, because let's say like you win the championship, this year, you win the Super Bowl this year. When the season starts again, everyone's back to zero. No one has a leverage up, right? And so it doesn't matter how high you get the previous season. This season, you start back from ground zero. Right, like you have no fucking chip on your shoulder, no nothing. Like, you have to get back to work, because if you win the Super Bowl last year and you come out and you get fucking smacked in the face your first game, like, you look dumb. Yeah. So you can't let off the gas pedal, and everyone's chasing you too. And so I think sometimes, like with Facts Over Fads, I know coaches are trying to do what I'm doing. Like, I see it all over social media. And it kind of puts a little, like, they're chasing me. So I have to keep levering up. I have to keep getting better. I have to keep growing. I have to keep implementing new things. I have to keep whatever standard I'm applying to my coaches and my clients. Like, I have to keep that standard at an all-time high, because I know people are trying to do what I do. And it's good. It's good to have people chasing you. So for him too, once he gets to where he needs to be, like, people are going to be waiting to take his spot. Like, they're going to be working hard to take his spot. Yeah. So every minute he plays, there's someone on the same team who wants to play as well. And so who's not playing. And they're just, I'm going to work hard in silence until coach sees. And then boom, I'm going to outwork him. And then I take his spot.
That shouldn't be an athlete thing. That should be a life thing.
Oh, for sure.
If you can just take an athlete mentality and apply it to life, then you're competing for the rest of your life and constantly looking to improve. I had a group coaching call. Every week I do a group coaching call talking about a topic, and it was talking about what you just said. You can't let off the gas. Right. What I mean was, baseball, softball just started. And what I saw was a major dip in my program of doing the extra work. Everyone's focused on performance now. Their schedule's a little bit heavier. And so now there's games. And they stop doing the extra work. You know what happens? They lose confidence. You know what happens? Their skills decrease. Why? Because when you fucking stop training, lifting, focus on nutrition, doing the extra preparation, you decrease. There is no maintenance mode. Yeah. You guys literally stopped. Yeah. Like, what do you think is going to happen when you stop doing something? You don't stop. You maybe lower frequency, you may lower volume, but you don't stop. Right? You don't stop the things that got you here in the first place. And that's a big thing big lesson that I learned the hard way. I lost the business that way. Yeah. I did all the things that grew a business. And then when I got there, I stopped doing the things that got me there. You know what happened? I lost it all.
Yep.
And so that was the lesson of that coaching call. I was like, you got to see the signs. Y'all were doing amazing up until season starts. And all you started doing is focusing on performance. I was like, think of your performance as a test at school. And now you have a series of tests. And you aren't even studying, which is the preparation every single day for these tests. If anything, you should be studying and preparing more that you're in this test-taking mode, because that's all the performance is a test of your current ability. Yep. And if you aren't doing well, then it looks like you got to prepare more often, all right? Yeah. Fuck, like, it's not rocket science.
Yeah, we coach a lot of teachers, and one of the teachers was like complaining about state testing. And I was like, I get it, state testing might be dumb. I was like, but if your students aren't doing well with state testing, like, that looks poor on you as the teacher. And what is your standard in the classroom? Because I know for a fact that some of my teachers, with one of their tests, they'll give us a study guide, they'll give us half the answers, they'll create some sort of curve, like grading on a curve because everyone did so poorly.
Yeah.
Like, that's false reality. That's not how the world works. The world works like state testing. Here's your fucking test. Did you pass or did you fail? You failed? Cool, you're getting held back a year.
Yeah.
Sorry about your luck. No curve, no fucking study guides, no here's half the answers, so on and so forth. Like, you either know it or you don't. And if you don't, so sorry, so sad. Like, and so these teachers are just, well, what if my kid's a bad test taker? Practice more, take more tests.
That's not on you, because you think life's gonna give a fuck that you're a bad test taker? Yeah. Do you think your mortgage company is going to be, hey, it's okay that you didn't pay your mortgage this month. I understand. Like, you're going through a tough time.
No, you owe me this month and last month, fucker.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. It does. You think your employer cares that, you know, you have anxiety and you need a health day? Yeah. No, everybody has fucking problems. Okay.
That's the crazy world that we live in now, is like where people want to play this game in the employer world of like, I need a mental health day. And companies are like, right now, or maybe last year, 2 years ago, companies were like okay with it. It was like,
because it was a thing.
It was a thing. Like, I had a client in his company, and he's a big time CPA, and his company launched, God, it was almost like paternity leave, but it was like mental health leave. Like, you could just take a week off for mental health, and they couldn't do anything about it. And I was like, wait, what? And it's paid. It was paid.
That's wild.
And I was like, I'm sorry, what? If you, like, I get it. People go through struggles, right? And it should be few and far and in between. But to think that, like, you could just wake up one day and be like, I don't want to go to work, and you don't go, and your job is okay with it because you've felt some type of way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go to work any day. like, well, I'm so confused. And you're going to pay me for that? And so, again, I think the world is shifting back to a little bit of a tougher mentality, a little bit of like, show up and do your job, or like, you're going to get fired.
I like it. My son's job, which is Smooth King, where majority of their employees are kids. They're strict on, you can't call out unless you have a doctor's note, bro.
Love it.
And he's like, my son's like, so many kids get fired because they just call out and they don't show what the doctor knows. And he's like, my boss don't play that. He's like, you're fired.
Bro, if as a boss, as a something that needs to function from, I don't know, 7 a.m. to fucking 10 p.m. and an employee calls out, bro, that provides so much stress on the company to function as a whole. So if you as an employee are causing me, your manager, or the company owner stress, you're gone. Because I'll find someone who will do it better than you.
Yeah.
Like, everyone needs a job right now. So to think that you have job security and you can treat this job however the type you want, you're fucking wrong. Because, like, I have so many friends right now looking for a new job. It's like, I need a new job. So trust me. Like, and they'll do a way better job than whoever's fucking taking advantage of the company.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate that bullshit. I fucking hate it.
Well, we see a shift. I see a shift. And I feel like my company is going to make a big shift as I'm contracting more kids in more high schools teaching this stuff.
Yeah.
And so letting them know that being coached hard and getting the hard truth and, you know, wanting struggle to get better is, you know, the key to resilience and key to getting better. And if they can leave with one thing, it's just to constantly strive to get better. You're going to fucking win somewhere. Yeah. If you're somebody who's always on the rise.
Yeah. I just set that standard with my internship for UTSA interns. And to get to, so it's 4 interns plus me plus Dieter, so there's 6 of us. To get 6 people to agree on like a day and a time to meet is fucking tough. And so every time the intern wants to change his schedule, hey, I can't make this meeting. Can we push it an hour? Can we pull it an hour? Whatever the case may be. I used to try to figure it out. Like a couple weeks ago, I would text everyone, hey, can we move the meeting an hour? Can we move this to this day, blah, blah. And I'm dealing with all the riffraff in this meeting.
Yeah.
So my new approach is if you want to change something, I say, here's my availability. Go message your comrades and figure out what part of my availability can y'all fit into. And if you can't fit into it, then so like you're just gonna have to miss the meeting, and that's gonna dock against you as an intern. Because your internship is the priority. Your job is not the priority. Your college degree is the priority, and I'm in the way between you and a degree. Yeah. And so I don't like if you have a job. So like sorry, like that's not my problem. And so if you can't make our meetings, then like I'll just dock it against you. And if you end up failing, then you end up failing. Like go to another internship.
You know what I tell my athletes? They shouldn't be missing my calls. You know why? It's 6:30 in the morning. You're not doing anything but sleeping.
Yeah.
Bro, I like real talk. I was like, I know what time we can all meet at. 6:30 in the morning, Fridays, when everyone's happy. We're fucking waking up early and we're learning some shit. You may be tired of shit. You may be yawning on my fucking call, but guess what, motherfucker, you showed up. And maybe you got something, maybe you don't, but one day you might get the thing that's needed to fucking just, you know, change and shift your direction.
Yeah. I'm really chill. Like I'm a really chill person. I don't like, I set the standard and then I back off.
Yeah.
I'm not a babysitter. I cannot babysit people. I was telling that to a coach the other day who was talking about like one of her clients. And I was like, that's not me. If your client needs someone to hold them accountable every single day, like if I don't text you once a week, you're going to fall off track. I'm like, no, that's exhausting. Yeah. You're fucking stressing me out. That's not, and you don't pay me enough money to do that. Yeah. And so, like, again, like my quote is careful seeking accountability to avoid responsibility. That's all, like, I need accountability. Why? Because you don't want to hold yourself responsible for your fucking actions, your fucking thought processes, your disciplines, your behaviors. Like
your dream.
It's your goal, bitch. It's not mine. It's not, why do I need to hold you accountable to what you want? Like, it's your thing. It has nothing. Like, I'll give you the path. I'll give you the journey. I'll give you the meal plans, the workouts. I'll give you everything you need to be successful. Then it's your job to go fucking do it. It is your responsibility to go do it. And it's the same thing with my interns. Like, here's the project. Do you get it? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, go do it. Like, you didn't do it? That's on you.
Figure it out. Did you reach out for help? Just how many did you go find solutions? How many times did you use Google? Like, bro,
and I'm all about that. We have 4 interns. One intern, again, they have to like submit hour logs and they have to submit all these things.
Bro, give me an intern.
And so, I'll slide you some this summer. And but one intern will be first. They'll submit their hour log first, and I'll tell them, hey, go share this with your other interns. Like, they don't need to be. If one person's already done the work and it's like a checkbox. Like, I'm all about sharing. I'm all about help. I'm all about making everyone's life easier. Yeah. Fucking go give it to them. Let them put their name on it. Let them turn it in. Like, there's no like if it's something dumb like that. Like, again, I'm all about it. But then when it comes to like your individual projects, it's like, yeah, you can go reach out for help, but I need you to do it. I can't like you can't copy and paste this. And so again, like I'm pretty big on, is this important or is this not? Is this a checkbox or is this like something I really need you to do? If it's a checkbox, like I don't care if you copy and paste it. Like just check the box and turn it into fucking UTSA and you're good. Yeah. But with our projects and stuff, it's like, yeah, y'all can work together, but you're not copy and pasting shit. Like everyone, like each, which is kind of tough for this semester because each of the 4 kids, they have different projects. They're all doing something different. Mm-hmm. And so it creates a little bit more work for me, but it forces them to have to do the work on their own. Yeah. So.
Oh, man. Sometimes people aren't meant to do anything alone. Sometimes people are like team players.
Yeah.
right? So they're about to find out real quick if that's them or not.
Who's who?
Yeah, who's who?
Who's who?
You better figure that out early on, though.
Yeah.
Because then you can go find the team and go be a winning person. Man, I talked about that. Well, there's this. Oh snap! My bad. Hello. I was having a conversation with a friend, and ex-friend was, well, he's not ex, but the name of the ex of friend. Friend jumped ship to ship on different ideas, right? Oh, it didn't work. Oh, it didn't work. It didn't work. Like, we think about, fitness and health, same thing. I did this diet, did that program, I did that coach, I did that, didn't work. The answer is, nothing works unless you do, right? Of course. But that's not where I'm going with this. Where I'm going with this is that I think sometimes people need to understand who they are and the position you're trying to go in. Example, you keep trying to be the number one guy. And I think we spoke about this, the number one guy. But deep down, you're not a fucking number one guy. You're like a four-man.
Yeah.
And what if you just accepted your role as a four-man and got in a team where you could be the fourth man? You're probably going to be way more successful being the four-man than you were trying to be the one-man. And we got that from the book of Know Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David, right? He's like, I'm around a lot of hyper successful people, millionaires, billionaires, and he's like, a lot of the top guys became the top guys by knowing they were the fourth or fifth man. Mm-hmm. He's like, every single time that the guys who are at the top now were trying to be the number one and take lead and be the CEO and be the owner, they failed miserably.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's always like the story of because everyone can probably relate to this, Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen. Their job was never to be Michael Jordan. It was never to be Michael Jordan. Yeah. Michael Jordan's job was to be Michael Jordan. Yeah. And he's number one. You're number two and number three. Do your job perfectly, and you will become a very well-known, very successful. They interviewed Dennis Rodman, and he was like, man, Michael Jordan would just fucking tell me, get the fucking rebound. I don't care who you have to elbow. I don't care who you have to piss off. Get the fucking rebound. Yeah. And that's how Dennis Rodman became Dennis Rodman.
Play your role.
That's your job. Play your role. And you have to stay in knowing your role, I think, is also very important, because some people don't even know their role. Some people don't know what they're doing. Some people don't know why they're doing it. Some people don't know why they're showing up. They don't know anything. They're just like, oh, I'm just going through the motions and I'm trying to be someone I'm not, or I'm trying to accomplish something that I know I can't. And I think that's where burnout happens a lot, especially in the
because you're not playing your role, and it's exhausting and it's taxing and it's energy draining. Mm-hmm. But I think it's very hard not to want to be the number one role, because number one role does come with its thing. Yeah. All right, you're the fucking guy. Yeah. All right, and I think for men, it's a pretty hard pill to swallow. Of like, fuck, I'm not the guy. Mm-hmm. But you know what? You could be the fucking best number two. Like, yeah. I don't know. I'm a number one role. That's my personality. That's what my natural inclination is. Not that it came from personal development. I was naturally from my environment in sports. Even if I wasn't the number one guy, I fucking presented as if I was the number one guy. Yeah. I was that person always taking charge and taking lead, and a little bit of a bully, a little bit of a tyrant. And I've always been that way. Yeah. And it got me into a lot of trouble until I started self-developing and learning how to, skill it. Right. And, be more articulate with it. But that's why it works for me. Yeah. Right? I can maneuver in it and articulate it. So I don't have that perspective of like, man, maybe I'm the third guy. So I don't know what that perspective looks like. Yeah.
I don't you just tell like, hey, you're the third guy, but okay, cool.
But I just feel like if people would just understand who they are, yeah, they would get wins a little bit more quickly. Obviously, because you've tried to be the number one guy over a decade, yeah, and nothing has worked.
And a lot of it is like leveraging help and resources, right? So this is where like AI comes into play, or Canva comes into play. Like if you're not good at marketing, Canva can probably help you out a lot. If you're not good at your words, ChatGPT can help you out a lot. If you're not good with systematic approaches and whatever the case may be, automation can help you a lot. And so again, I think it's just understanding like your strengths and your weaknesses to avoid burnout. It's always like my goal as a mentor is to help people avoid burnout. And so talking about Shara, man, she had so much going on. And I was like, you're gonna die. You're gonna drown. Like, you're already stressed and you're trying to add more stress to your plate. How do we simplify it? How do we simplify your coaching offerings? How do we simplify your price points? How do we simplify your day-to-day habits and routines? Like, let's look at your calendar. What days can you do X, Y, Z? Can you double up on a Monday because you just have more time so you can get ahead? Like, how do we simplify shit? Because again, I think like people just quit because they burn out because they're not resourceful. And no matter if you're the number 1 guy or the number 5 guy, it doesn't matter. Like, you have to be resourceful. And again, like any good company, the CEO gets a lot of credit for a really good company or a really bad company. But all the time, it's not the CEO's fault. It's who did he pick as his number 2, number 3, number 4, or her as a 2, 3, 4, 5, right?
Yeah.
Because again, if a company is really great, it's not because of the CEO, it's because of the 5 people underneath them. If the company is really shitty, it's not because of the CEO, it's because of the 5 people underneath them. And so I think understanding if you're the number 1 person or the number 4 person, like, you have to understand your role and you have to be able to kind of be part of that team to make the vision successful.
Makes sense. Yeah. Recap it, brother.
And we talked about a lot. We talked about
financial hygiene,
cleaning up your budget. How much money of your income are you living off of? Are you setting any aside?
That fucks everyone over right there, bro. You said
paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, that creates that shit quick.
Yeah, and how when you buy something for yourself, it feels so much better than when someone else buys it for you.
When you earn it,
and you earn it, and how you
value it better.
Yeah, and then we pivoted to, what are you doing? Are you trying to prove someone else wrong, or are you trying to prove yourself right? And there's no right answer, but both.
Use what you got.
Yeah. If you're mad, good, be mad, but be mad in the direction of the thing. If you're happy and excited, cool, be happy and excited in the direction of the thing.
Use whatever you have to take positive, productive action.
Yep.
There it is.
Yeah,
because you can use it to take negative, productive action. And right, we don't want that. You want to use whatever emotion you have, good or bad, to take positive, productive action to move your life forward.
Love it. To move your life forward. All right. Don't work to keep up.
Work to separate, baby.